to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and welcome to today's episode of The Hypnotist. Now, you're about to listen to a session that I did live in London's famous Harley Street, working with a gentleman that was very successful in property, very successful as a business director. But the area of his life where it wasn't quite going to plan was his weight. And for me, when I'm working with clients, one of the things I look for is an area of their life that they are already succeeding and have high standards. I asked him the question before the session. I said, look, if you run your business like how you try and lose weight, what would happen? And he openly admitted that the business would fail very quickly because in business, he was making great choices, great decisions, learning from mistakes very quickly, rectifying anything that was going wrong to improve it. And yet he wasn't doing that in the area of his life when it came to losing weight. So in this session, what you're going to see and experience is a hypnosis session that enabled him to unlock the resources that he had in other areas of his life, but then enable them to be effective in the area of weight loss, dietary choices, activity. And it's going to be very useful for anyone that wants to feel empowered, feel resourceful, and feel that they actually have the ability and the power to lose weight themselves. And weight loss is one of those areas that when people fail a few times at losing weight, they develop a belief system that they can't do it, that they can't lose weight. And that's why they look for external things like a new diet or a new personal trainer or a new exercise class, because they feel it has to come from outside of themselves. This hypnosis session that you're about to listen to actually unlocks the resources from within you, giving you the power to lose weight. The best way of listening to this is going to be on headphones in a quiet area where you won't be disturbed, and listen to it as many times as is useful for you, because every time you listen to it, you'll get an entirely different experience because you'll be different each time you hear it. So relax and enjoy.
And as you breathe in, I want you to imagine that you're breathing in a sense of relaxation. Breathing in relaxation, and just imagine that you're breathing out any tension, any stress. I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine that when you breathe in, you're breathing in a color that represents relaxation. And when you breathe out, imagine a color that represents tension. Some people imagine a warm, bright color to represent that relaxation as they breathe in. And some people imagine a dark, shadowy color to represent tension, stress, or anxiety. Your body has the ability to take oxygen from your breath and to distribute it to every cell in your body. I want you to imagine as you breathe in that warm color and it fills your lungs, that your heart is then pumping that relaxation to every cell in your body, enabling you, breath by breath, to access deeper levels of relaxation. That's right. And while I'm talking, occasionally your conscious mind will pick up on different sounds. Different sounds, perhaps like the sound of traffic outside the window on the street below. Perhaps the sound of footsteps or voices. Perhaps even ticking of a watch or a clock. Occasionally your conscious mind will reflect on inner thoughts and just chase those thoughts around your head. In a strange and contradictory way, the more that your conscious mind is distracted, the better able I am to influence your unconscious mind. Because your unconscious mind is really what's driving most of the decisions that you make. When you drive, you're making hundreds of decisions. Decisions about what gear you should be in, when to brake, when to turn. But most of that you do completely without your conscious awareness. You blink hundreds and hundreds of times every day. But rarely will you do it consciously unless you have something in your eye. Most of the breathing that you do, completely on autopilot. So it's safe to say that the vast majority of the choices, decisions, but also behavior that you do is completely unconscious. If you were standing and someone threw a ball, your unconscious would catch that ball before your conscious mind could even figure out what's going on. I want you to imagine that you're somewhere relaxing. Relaxing just for you. I want you to imagine that you're in nature. And in that nature, you're nearby water. You can hear whatever that water is, perhaps a lake, the sea, or a river. You can feel the fresh, clean air on your skin. Perhaps there's even a gentle breeze. But I want you to imagine that you're not standing in nature. I want you to imagine that you've got the most comfortable recliner chair that ever existed. And you're lying back on that reclined chair, breathing in that fresh, natural air, feeling gentle breeze, and noticing that it's blue skies, noticing that it's sunny but not too hot. And you can just admire the beauty of the nature that surrounds you. It's completely private. And while you're lying on that chair, enjoying nature, breathing in fresh, clean air, you're accessing deeper levels of relaxation. I want you to imagine as you lie there, feeling the sun on your skin. I want you to imagine that in the same way that you can breathe in a feeling of relaxation, and that feeling of relaxation spreads throughout your whole body to take you to deeper levels of relaxation, I want you to imagine that the sun on your skin is also giving you a feeling of relaxation. Your body has the ability to extract vitamin D from the sun's rays. I want you to imagine that your body also has the ability to use the sun's rays to melt away any tension in your body. As you lie there on that comfortable chair, out there in nature, hearing that water, feeling the sun on your skin, I want you to really focus on the muscles around your eyelids and your eyes. Just imagine that any tension that is around your eyelids and your eyes is starting to melt away. I want you to focus on the muscles on your forehead. Those same muscles that are responsible for unconscious movements whenever you feel certain emotions. If you were surprised, you would use those muscles in your forehead without thinking. If you were curious, intrigued, concerned, those muscles would work all by themselves. But now as you breathe in that feeling of relaxation and feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, just imagine that those muscles in and around your forehead are letting go of any tension. Now, that's right. Now focus on the feeling around your jaw. There are some people that have so much tension in their jaw that they grind their teeth at night, completely unconsciously, because they're holding on to tension that isn't needed. As you focus on all the muscles that connect your ear to your chin, just imagine that there is some tension there that doesn't need to be there now. As you breathe in that warm feeling of relaxation, it's okay to just release that tension now. And as you release that tension, you find it easier to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. And as you breathe in through your nose, imagine that it's not just your external muscles that start to relax, but also your internal organs. Imagine that your heart is starting to relax, your stomach starting to relax, your lungs and your diaphragm start to relax. That's right. And the easier it is to breathe, the deeper you breathe. And the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you feel. That's right. Now I want you to focus on the neck and your shoulders. And there's been a few times in your life where you've seen an ice cube melt in the sunshine. And I want you to imagine that the muscles around your neck and your shoulders, they are like a bank account of tension. As you breathe in that warm feeling of relaxation and feel the warmth of the sun, I want you to imagine that that's melting away any unnecessary tension across your neck and your shoulders, taking you to deeper levels of relaxation with each and every breath. That relaxation now flowing down your arms feeling loose and heavy. And if you need to reposition your arms to enable tension to be released, then just do that now. With each and every breath, taking you deeper and deeper relaxed. I want you to focus on the muscles in your fingers. The muscles in your fingers are relaxing so much that you're not sure if they're feeling loose and limp or rigid with a tingling sensation. But just know that with each and every breath, all tension is melting away. Now focused on your legs, really being aware of the muscles in your legs. Tension is needed to stand up. Tension is needed to walk. Tension is not needed to lie on a recliner in nature. So just allow those legs to relax completely and totally relaxed. And all I want you to do is imagine that you're so relaxed on this reclined chair out there in nature that you're about to drift off to sleep. I'm going to count down from 5 to 1, and you're going to imagine that you're falling asleep in that chair. And when you fall asleep, you will imagine that you're in a dream. In a dream. In the same location, so you can see yourself in that chair. But for now, let's just fall asleep. 5, eyes getting heavier. 4, finding it easier to just feel drowsy and relaxed. 3, feeling like you're about to nod off. 2, 1, drifting off, falling asleep now. That's right. And as you fall asleep in the chair, you're now inside a dream where you're seeing yourself in that chair. You're in nature, and yet you can see yourself looking so relaxed that if you were to lift your arm up in that chair and let go, it would just slump all the way back down into your body. As you look around, you can appreciate the nature that surrounds you, the distinct smell in the air, the breeze on your face, the blue skies. And as you look up at those blue skies, I want you to see just a couple of fluffy white clouds. And as you see those clouds, something unusual is going to happen with those fluffy white clouds. They're going to spell out a word in the sky. And that word is relax. R-E-L-A-X. Relax. That's right. Each and every time you read that word spelled out in clouds in the sky, R-E-L-A-X, you feel deeper and deeper relaxed. But then the word does something even more strange. It's strange enough that clouds are spelling out words in the sky, but now they're doing something even more unusual. The word turns into a number, and that number is 998. The logical, analytical part of your mind is looking at these clouds, bemused, intrigued, mesmerized at how clouds could be spelling out numbers in the sky. They stay there for a moment, and then the final number descends by 1 to 997. Stays there for a few moments, then descends again to 996. And the logical, analytical part of your mind is completely mesmerized that there is now a giant countdown timer in the sky made of fluffy white clouds. I want you to allow the logical, analytical part of your mind to count down those clouds. But I'm now communicating to a different part. A part that wants a future of better health, more energy, A future where you have more choices, not less. And that part will disconnect from the logical part and continue walking through nature. And I want you to see up ahead there is a door. And this door will take you to a large empty room that represents your deep unconscious mind. You walk up to the door, and knowing what you know about doors and building materials, you observe this particular door. The material, the size. But the interesting thing is that it's not connected to a building. It's simply a door. You have the key to the door. This key will unlock the door, but the key will also simultaneously unlock all the resources necessary to make choices that directly impact your health, your energy, and your body shape. Starting to count 5, putting the key in the lock. 4, rotating the key. 3, hearing the click to signify that the door is now open. Also unlocking all the resources necessary in order for you to make different positive choices. 2, opening the door. 1, walking through the door. And 0, you're now in a large, empty, well-lit room. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to a specific memory. A memory where you made an excellent decision. Now, this could be a decision in work or in life, but I want you to think of a specific time when you made an excellent decision. A decision that wasn't a conscious, logical decision, but it was an intuitive, gut feel decision, but it was the right call. It wasn't words or voices in your head saying that you should do this or must do that. It was a decision that just comes from experience, and it was your body talking to you rather than your brain talking to your body. And when you can think of a memory like that, where you made an intuitive decision and it was a great decision, just let me know by nodding your head. That's right. I want you to go back to that memory and see that version of you. See how you looked, how you were standing, perhaps you were sitting. Look at your facial expressions. You are now looking at someone that can make great decisions intuitively. It can take experiences, multiple frames of reference, perhaps even data and knowledge applicable from different times and situations, and all that came into an intuitive decision. I want you to see this version of you and know that you are already an expert at making great choices and great decisions, most of which are driven from your subconscious mind. When you're convinced that this clearly is a resource that you possess, let me know by nodding your head. That's right. And now I want you to climb into that version of you. Climb into that version of you and feel how good it feels at the very point where you knew with a sense of certainty that it was a great decision to make, and more importantly, you made it intuitively. I want you to point to the part within you where it feels like that decision came from. Okay, that's great. That feeling of resourcefulness the knowledge, the belief that you can make great choices is a fact. And there's been projects that you've worked on that were different, but you could take the frame of reference that you had from everything up to that point to help you with this new environment, this new territory. You knew that although this was a new thing, it wasn't entirely different, in the same way that if someone has spent a whole life driving cars and they get a brand new car, they know that they don't have to start from scratch to learn how to drive. They're simply taking all of that knowledge of knowing how to drive and then figuring out what's different with this specific new car. Maybe the indicator's in a different place. Maybe it's a different way of reading the controls. Maybe certain buttons are located in different places to move the seats or increase the volume of the music. But you don't believe that you have to learn everything from scratch. You just know that you can take everything that you already know and apply it to this new context. If your unconscious mind accepts that skills can be transferred into new environments, let me know by nodding your head. That's right. And you are an expert at making great decisions and great choices. And just imagine if we could take that resource and apply it to decisions and choices when it comes to food and exercise. There are certain decisions that you make perhaps in business where it's crucial that when the decision is made, it then gets followed up with and actioned. A delay in the action after the decision could be hugely detrimental. So it's not enough just to decide. It's essential to commit and follow through. And if that's true for your unconscious mind, let me know by nodding your head. In some cases, it may have been the case where a decision was made and not followed through, which proved costly. Therefore, you already intuitively know that making choices and decisions aren't enough. A great decision that then isn't followed through was a waste of time. And your unconscious mind already knows that sometimes good things can happen from bad decisions. Sometimes a bad decision can actually uncover new opportunities, and sometimes you have the ability to learn lessons that can never be taught. Knowledge is one thing, experience is something else. Your ability to make great decisions now has come from making the occasional not so good decision. And if that's also true, let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to realize that experience enables intuitive decisions. There's only so much you can read in a book. It comes down to actually experiencing and responding to the realities of what's happening in any given context. I want you to know that you have already highly honed and tuned skills about making decisions and choices, and that these can be transferred to any area of your life. And once you accept that, I want you to leave this memory and now go back into that room, that large, empty, well-lit room that represents your subconscious mind. This is simply a stepping stone towards a future. And the future I want you to see is yourself in a few days' time. I want you to see yourself in a few days' time, not in a working context, but within the context of eating or choosing food to eat. Within a few days, you will have already made some progress. You would have decided what your daily calorie target is. It's not a rule, but it's a target to aim for. And maybe you're using some kind of an app or way of working out how much you're eating. But I want you to see that you are different this time, because you're tapping into all of the resources that enable you to make great decisions, and you're applying that to the foods. You are making choices not just to hit or fall below that target number of calories, but you're also trying to choose as many natural foods as possible. Natural single ingredient foods. Because typically processed foods tend to have lots and lots of different ingredients all mixed into one that you buy in a packet or a box. Single ingredient food, what you buy is what you see and it's what it is. And this tends to come from nature. A banana only has one ingredient, a banana. A packet of nuts, if you read the ingredients, will literally just list the nuts that's included. When you think of your meal, what's on your plate could be several single ingredient, a particular vegetable, a particular meat, and maybe there are 3 or 4 or 5 different ingredients on that plate. But you will aim to make choices where possible to either hit or fall below your calorie target, but choosing natural single ingredient foods. And if this makes sense to your unconscious mind, let me know by nodding your head. Now, the problem with single ingredient foods is that quite often you don't know exactly how many grams they are. And sometimes they don't let you know how many calories they are. But you will use whatever resources you need to work out averages, to work out how many calories an average apple or banana or pear, or perhaps a jacket potato, or perhaps some chicken breast. You'll be able to work out roughly how many calories they are, and it doesn't need to be accurate, because what's more important than the specific number of calories that you're consuming is that you're making great choices as to what to eat. Not all food is created equal. In the same way that within your business environment, some things may be described in the same way, but if they're made from different materials, they can be very different. Therefore, not all things are created equally. You will choose to consume your calories where quality is more important than quantity. Quality food should not be measured in the cost of the food, but in the quality of the ingredients, the quality of the nutrition. You will seek out foods that are powered by sunshine and fed by rainwater. Natural, healthy foods taste better. It tends to be the refined, processed foods that have all that salt and sugar that becomes addictive. And by eating single ingredient natural foods, your body will give you more energy. You will sleep better. You will feel healthier and happier. And you will take pride in the choices that you're making. While you're seeing yourself buying the food, eating the food, notice that you're paying more attention to information that you weren't paying attention to before. You're analyzing things in a different way. The conscious choices that you make to begin with will very quickly become unconscious choices in the future. The first few times you ever drove a car were mentally exhausting experiences. But you can't even remember the 77th time you drove a car, because it was already something you could do without thinking. And likewise, the first few times you deliberately choose to have a snack that is fresh fruit, or you choose to have a freshly juiced vegetable, that will be a conscious choice. But the 15th time you choose to have a piece of fruit rather than a packet of crisps, or a healthy natural juice rather than a Diet Coke, you won't even remember it, because it will become integrated with unconscious choices. The slower you eat, the more you can extract flavor and taste from your food. You will eat less, but you will enjoy more. Eating food and not paying attention to the taste would be like having tickets for a very expensive show and then spending the whole show reading things on your mobile phone. Why would you have the food if you're not really going to appreciate the textures, the taste, the smells, and the flavors? You will enjoy food more simply by paying more attention to it. I want you now to see yourself, not in a few days' time, but in a few months' time. A few months of making better and better choices has transformed your body. And the choices aren't just when it comes to what to eat, but you're also making different choices about physical activity. Maybe it's that you wake up a bit earlier just to do 10 or 15 minutes worth of exercise. Or maybe you've communicated certain things that are important to your wife so that new boundaries have been established to give you clarity as to what you'll be doing when you're doing it. Maybe certain things get scheduled and you treat these just as important as an essential business meeting. You will map across ways that you can tap into high levels of competency in other areas of your life and directly apply them to this new objective of yours. You're seeing yourself make good choices. You're seeing yourself raise your standards. And as you raise your standards, you're tapping into the desire within you to be the very best version of yourself. Perhaps as the months go on, you're taking up yoga again. I want you to see yourself either in your own home or in a yoga studio doing a particular move that you haven't done for a long while. You're able to do it because what you've lost in weight, you've gained in energy, vitality, a new lease of life. I want you to climb into that version of you. Climb into that version of you where you can feel yourself doing that move. Feeling a sense of accomplishment, pride, perhaps even catching your reflection in a mirror where you're able to really see that you've lost the weight and become healthier and happier. And now I want you to go forward, perhaps a few more weeks, perhaps it's now spring, and I want you to see yourself playing football with your sons. But those ever-decreasing circles have gone the other way around. They're ever-increasing circles now. It's no longer about staying in goal. Now you're giving them a run for their money. Showing them some skills that they never knew that you had. It gives you a sense of accomplishment and pride just to see that you are now having a different role to play in their lives. It doesn't even occur to you, but you're also showing them an example, not just about how to be successful in business, but also the importance of health. I now want you to scroll forward until your sister's wedding in the summer, and you see yourself mingling with guests. But I want you to see that you're getting lots of compliments, people asking you what you've done. And I want you to hear your reply to them. I just started making better choices. I just made a few decisions. And as you hear that, you know it's absolutely true. You didn't need to be perfect. You just made different choices, made better decisions, and you learnt when things didn't go right, to enable you to make better choices the very next day. I want you to climb into that version of you at your sister's wedding and feel how good it feels to be at the weight that you've wanted to be. And I don't know if you're 15 stone, 14 stone, or maybe even less. But I want you to realize that you've achieved this not by forcing your body to lose weight, but by training your body to burn fat. By giving your body healthy, natural foods, not all the time, but most of the time. And you made food choices that kept your insulin levels low, and therefore your body lifted an invisibility cloak on your body fat and saw it for what it was all along, an emergency fuel tank that contains energy. All this time your body's been feeding on that emergency fuel tank simply because of the choices and decisions that you made. And if it feels good to have lost the weight and kept the weight off, just let me know by nodding your head. And as you think back, be absolutely clear that it wasn't an easy road, but then it wasn't an easy road in business either. But it was a road worth pursuing. I want you to think back to the times where you needed not motivation or self-control, but resilience, tenacity, the ability to accept that something didn't go wrong or didn't go right, and you can start the next day as a fresh page. And if you accept that resilience is more important than motivation, and just sticking at it is really what's going to get you at this weight where you're standing there at your sister's wedding, feeling that it's easier to breathe, feeling that you can move and enjoy life much more than you did before. Let me know by nodding your head. That's right. And now it's time to go back into that large, empty, well-lit room. turning around, seeing that door, walking through the door and finding yourself back in nature, but feeling like something's shifted, feeling like you can access highly tuned skills in an area of your life where you haven't really been using them. Sometimes people that are successful in one business are successful in a brand new, completely different business because those skills were transferable. Your skills are transferable. You've spent many years getting good at making great choices and great decisions. The very skill that will transform your body and transform your health. As you walk through nature, you see a version of you that's still there, counting clouds up in the sky. You climb into that version, reintegrating with the logical, analytical part, and you may even just see what number the clouds are saying right now. The logical, analytical part will be necessary to help you with your choices, to learn from mistakes and setbacks, and to do some research about new foods to try and new ways of training your body to burn fat. But as you turn around, walking through nature, you see yet another version of you, out there in nature, fast asleep, on a very comfortable reclined chair. And I want you to climb into that version of you, where now all parts are fully integrated in one body, all collaborating as a team pulling in the same direction to enable you to make great choices and learn from the not so great choices. Your motto and mantra will be, progress is more important than perfection. It's not about being perfect and doing everything right, but making small steps consistently that over time compound and create a complete transformation. I want you to imagine that you're getting up out of that reclined chair, feeling like you've just woken up for the first time in many years, taking in a deep breath of fresh, clean, natural air, looking around at nature and feeling that you're at peace, feeling positive. And in a few moments' time, I'm going to count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling full of resourcefulness, feeling like you're about to start a new chapter. That this thing that you'll be doing is not rocket science. It's simply giving your body a few less calories than it's used to, but making choices about what types of food you eat to train your body to burn fat. What it comes down to is making choices, and you know that you're really good at making choices and decisions. You will awaken here in this room with all normal sensations returning to your arms and leg, with all parts fully integrated in the present and feeling resourceful and excited for the future. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.